Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before I do continue, I do want to say something. I am getting sick, and over the weekend I've been losing my voice. So, if I do sound a bit different, or if I do sound slow or a bit groggy, I just took something for myself so that I can hopefully get better. I took some medicine, and I do want to get some videos out. So now, if I do slow down or pause suddenly, or I do misspeak a little bit, I'm not feeling too well. Now then, let's begin. In the last part, a number of events have happened. Izuku came back to the reality after the reality stone was pulled from his mind and he was in a coma for a week. And this time, the world had the heroes return thanks to Tony Stark being alive again and him and some of the smartest men in the world creating a device to revive people. Now, they lack the Power Stone, and that means quite a bit. Without any knowledge of where it could be on Earth, the only reasonable explanation is that Thanos has it. And this is a problem. Thanos will come for Earth. They have to prepare and get things ready. Now, Deku, he's got a lot going through his mind. And right now, he's more concerned about the relationships that were formed whenever Ultron had his body, along with how to talk to Crystal. Genosha was attacked and millions died because of his machines. Wakanda was attacked and was nearly ripped apart by Storm. And then there's Attilan. The Genetic Council were murdered, and Medusa was brainwashed and seen as completely and utterly insane because of Ultron. Because of him. He's aware that these actions are not his own. He can rationalize that. He can rationalize rebuilding these robots. But after some calculations, along with even thinking about a few things, there's a lot he has to talk to Crystal about. A lot to figure out. He wants to take some time away, solve himself, and work on himself. After everything that happened, including Ultron upgrading his body with extremists, Deku doesn't feel like the same person. He feels different. It could be a mental imprint left because of Hank Pym, or even because of Ultron. But his mind doesn't feel the same. Some of his thoughts don't feel like his own. And that's a major problem. He built one of his greatest weapons, a god-killing armor to stop Thanos, to stop Ultron. And now he's got to use it. But then again, he can understand that. He wants to wait until the danger passes to talk to Crystal. Though, he might have to wait less before he has to talk to the Council. And with that being said, we do currently pick up with Izuku, who does get to sit down in a booth as across from him is Peter Parker. And we get to look up, a bit confused at the man in front of him. Excuse me, I'm waiting for a Peter, it's me. Izuku? Damn. I don't even. Where's your. I'm wearing it. Right, right. Good camouflage, I guess. So, what's going on there? Do I look at the face, the eyes, or is it all anatomical, or just whatever's most comfortable? Listen, Pete, I need some advice. About. Okay, I already went to go talk to Logan. About advice. Yeah. Are you that desperate for help? Yeah. Okay. Start from the beginning. What happened? I mean, I've heard a lot of rumors, especially after Ultron. The last week's been a bit hard for me to get a handle on things. I mean, I almost killed Kamala. Is she okay? She's fine. She's fine. Though, me and her do need to talk. Figure things out there. Sorry about that. No, it's just, listen, I don't blame you. I didn't know, and when my spider sense went off, I didn't have the time to figure it out. I was already in the trap. I know. I'll try and use my memories. That's the thing. He used all the information I knew about heroes to hurt everyone. Huh, that's surprising. Yeah. He wanted to get Bruce Banner, but he didn't know if he could. He knew that they'd keep him hidden in Wakanda. That's the main thing. Okay, okay. So, trying to step away from a sour note, I guess. What do you need my help on? Well, Pete, I need some advice about girls. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mainly about how to fix my relationship. Not gonna lie, Pete, I've heard some things about you, MJ, Gwen Stacy, Felicia. You kinda dropped the ball a bit. Gee, thanks for the vote of confidence. I'm just I'm just saying, Pete. I fucked up bad. I really fucked up. You mean Ultron did? Yeah, but still. Listen, I don't feel like I can face my daughter. Really. So, so how bad? Well, if I ran the math right, four. Four? So, it happened 4 times. No, no, four different women. Oh, yikes. Okay, I get it now. That's why you went to Logan. Yeah, okay, man horror extraordinaire, so sorry. You want to go see him for I'm trying to you know. Yeah, Pete, it's a coping mechanism. I don't blame you. Listen, I'm just saying I messed up. I don't feel like I can face Crystal, let alone just be in the same room. I just if I tell her I want some time off to think, would she understand? I mean, I think so. How does she usually act? She's understanding. She's good. She's she's great. But I don't know. After everything we've been through and now this, I just don't know what to say. I'd start with a sorry. Also, you know, if she does know that you're brainwashed, she might not hold it against you. Though the longer you don't tell. Wait a second, hang on. Have you even talked to the other chicks? I haven't. Okay, okay. Maybe start there. I mean, who were they? Well, Magneto's daughters. His daughters? Storm and my ex, Sasha. Oh, so you slept with your ex? Mm-hmm. And she's heard me talk about her quite a bit. Yikes. I'm really glad I'm not in your shoes. Thanks for the vote of confidence, Pete. Your words, not mine. Listen, okay, I'd I'd maybe want to start with an apology. Maybe okay. Sit her down and tell her about everything that's happened to you. Then maybe lead into the fact that you might have slept with 4 women. Pete, that's not the whole problem. Okay, okay. So, oh, oh, you think one of them might be. Okay, that's a different story. Uh-huh. Deku was sitting there. As his armor, we're gonna beep. And Friday, we're gonna alert him that right now the Italian Genetic Council would like to have a few words with him, and they would like to at least express a few things with him. And Deku, he has to look up, going to tell Peter he's gotta go. However, he's got to get his head back on straight. Listen, Ironheart, Riri, she's back in the land of the living. If he could he try and give her some advice? Huh? What could I say to her? I mean, I'm not you. Listen, Pete, you're pretty good at being a mentor. I mean, isn't that one kid around? I think so. Listen, I haven't exactly gone to talk to Miles. He's been trying to figure everything out. I mean, he's spending time with his parents, and I think it was his mom who disappeared. I don't exactly know. I just know he's not doing too good. Right, right. No, I'm sorry about that. Hey, man, you're dealing with your own stuff. I get it. I mean, I can try and talk to Riri, I guess, if you really need me to do that. But what about you? What are you gonna do? Thanos is on the horizon, and as far as we're aware, he's bringing an army with him to Earth. That's the most, at best, we'd expect. I mean, even the least. We don't know what he's planning. We don't know what he's doing. We don't know if he's even got his target set on us yet. We're trying to prepare this world for a literal invasion of an alien armada. Don't remind me. Listen, I know I have a lot to sort out. I know I'm asking a lot, Pete. But no. Hmm? Izuku, you're a friend of mine, alright? You didn't have to build me this suit, but you did. I appreciate it. Besides, we can rely on each other. That's what friends are for. Though, maybe next time say I'm don't say I'm bad at handling girls. Besides, I still gotta talk to Kamala. Figure things out there. Find out how me and her can make up. How have you two been? Complicated, but not nearly as complicated as you and Crystal. Right, right. Deku's just gonna smile. Peter, unaware of that, because Deku is not wearing his own face. And currently Deku doesn't get a beep in his armor. Him being alerted by Friday that there is an incoming message, and that the Inhuman Genetic Council would like to talk to Izuku if he is willing to come to Attilan. And Deku, he does someone going to sit there. Him going to express to Peter that he's got to go, though he's got to do a few things. And currently Izuku, he would leave, and he was going to send a message back to Friday about how he'll be back on Attilan soon. Right now he has other matters to take care of, some of them that are very important. And this does mean quite a bit. Now, Deku would just stand up and leave, and Pete, he would get a turn, him paying for the coffee, and then going to leave himself. Now, they're actually outside. Deku will get a turn and walk to an alleyway. Right on him, they're gonna blast him into the air and currently on camouflage. As Deku, he does get to head out. He's already talked to Sasha, and she wants to have dinner. So there's definitely that. Though he's gotta figure things out with Wakanda, and go there to talk to Storm. Though Genosha, I guess he can put off dealing with Magneto, at least for right now. Deku going to fly to Wakanda, and when he does go to arrive, there actually is where he does go to fly down. Currently, him landing in the city as he was trying to radio in to T'Challa. And T'Challa, he would get to answer Izuku's comms. Currently, they're trying to ask Iron Man what exactly he is doing here in Wakanda. Hey, is Storm around? Yes, she is around. However, exactly why are you here? I wanted to talk to her. About your time as Ultron? Yes. There's a lot happening. Alright. Listen, Deku gonna teleport. Currently, him staying in front of T'Challa, as we're gonna turn. Him going to bring his hand up and walk over. Expressing to Izuku. Him gonna pull back his hand and throwing out forwards. Deku bringing his hand up and catching his attack. Currently, him holding on to T'Challa's hand, expressing to him. He does not mean any ill intention. And T'Challa, he does a stare at Deku, annoyed and angry. And Izuku, yeah, he does gotta tell him about how he's sorry. And this does mean quite a bit. Currently, T'Challa gonna step backwards and tell him that he was not invited to Wakanda. And he might have helped, but he has left them vulnerable to attacks because of his action. He may have saved his life, but do not think that that will go unpunished. What are you talking about? By saving me, you lowered our defenses. Wakanda has already had to deal with people trying to invade. Now, if you have something in that armor that can fix the shields, I suggest you do it. Otherwise, leave Wakanda and allow us to work. I want to talk to Storm. Fine. However, after that, leave. You are no longer welcome here in Wakanda. At least not for now. Until the shields can get back up and everything can be sorted out, Wakanda is worried about their own. Do you understand that? I do. Thank you, T'Challa. I'm going to turn. And Deku, he does a leave. Currently him trying to scan for mutants. And this is where he does a pick up on Storm. Him flying out and going to talk to her. And this conversation is definitely a bit awkward. Especially because Storm isn't too sure how to talk to Izuku. Now the two are actually face to face for really the first time. And things, they are a bit strange. But Deku, he does express concerns. Show he didn't mean for whatever happened between them to actually happen. And Storm can understand. Though, she does try to express her own concerns about how things are right now for Wakanda, and how the rebuilding efforts certainly have been, well, hard at work. And Deku, after he's going to talk to Storm and at least express about how they can stay in contact, he doesn't leave. And Storm, she actually is a bit happy. Deku, when he does leave, she just don't smile and think about a lot. Now, there actually is over in Genosha. Deku, he does come flying down, and he doesn't see the devastation. He sees the people trying to rebuild. And Deku, he has it a scan and currently a roster popping up. There are over 7 million mutants. At the very least, 9 million mutants here in Genosha. And all of them are hard at work to try and put their country back together. Though Izuku, he knows about how many mutants existed before, well, everything. Almost 6 years ago, there were 30 million. But now that number is not even a third of what it was. and this, it does slightly unnerve him. His machines were responsible for all of this. At Magneto, he does come flying down, him greeting the metal visitor to Genosha, and currently does a walk forwards, expressing about how Iron Man has the goal to come here, to Genosha. He might have saved it, but his machines were the ones that doomed it. And Izuku, he would express, currently going to step out of his armor and walk towards Magneto. About a few things. He was here to talk to him, and even speak to, well, Wanda and Lorna. You dare speak of my daughters? Yes, it's, uh, it's a lot. Polaris and I we were put under at the same time. I believe that she does understand better. I don't know whenever Wanda was taken over, but it was before both of us. I wish to apologize for my actions. You come here and expect an apology will fix everything. I don't. Then why are you here? Because I'm trying to fix mistakes that happen. I'm rebuilding the guardsmen. Magneto's stepping forwards and clocking Deku across the face. And Deku, he does this one step backwards. Him turning back to Magneto as he's putting his hands to his mouth. Currently, him turning back to Magneto and expressing, they're not going to hurt them. In fact, he might build one to protect Genosha. And the man does a stare at Deku, giving him absolute daggers. But Deku's face, it shows the truth. And Magneto, he does not want to admit it. But those machines were certainly capable, highly capable. And the fact that Izuku is talking about building one to defend them after they destroyed them says quite a lot. He does not want to trust Izuku, but he is a different form of human. No, he's not even human at that. He is an inhuman. His interests are different, but he still pretends to be human. And that Magneto doesn't like the most. Izuku is trying to be a good person, pretend like he is the good guy, but he is not. His machines ruined the mutants. His machines left millions without homes and millions without family. And he's coming here talking about building them again, giving them one. It's laughable. This he does not enjoy. But Magneto, he can understand how dangerous those machines were. And he would tell him, if he wishes for one to be built for Genosha, hand the blueprints over to Forge. He would rather not have Izuku here on Genoshan soil. He's breaking the law by allowing him here anyways. Now, if he is going to leave, then leave. But if he's here to talk to his daughters, talk to them face to face. I'm going to turn and flank him into the air. Magneto telling Izuku he has 1 hour on Genosha before it is seen as an act of war, and he will hunt him down personally. And Deku, he doesn't understand. Currently him going to fly around and trying to gain a handle on this. He does find Wanda and Lorna, and talking about these two, yeah. Polaris, she's more understandable of the situation. She's more aware of it. But Wanda, she's still a lot more annoyed by what happened. And Deku, he is trying to do a lot of things. And after talking to these two, he does understand it. They don't hate him for what happened. They don't blame him. They blame Ultron. But at the same time, it's also because of them this has happened. If Wanda wasn't caught off guard, Izuku would never have had his armor break down. Ultron would never have gotten into his mind, and Genosha would not have had those robots deployed. It's just a whole unfortunate series of events. And Deku, he does notice those words. And there also is Wanda, who does just want to bring her hand up. Her, a bit sickened by all these thoughts going through her mind, a bit aware of it. Her bringing it up to her chest. And Deku, he does pay attention to that. Currently, him is going to express to the two. He'll be in contact with them. He wants them to know that. He'll make sure to talk with them. And if they do need to leave Genosha, if they want to go anywhere else, let him know. He'll make it possible for them. Currently, him flying up into the air. And the timer, currently on screen, it does begin to count down. And Izuku, he's a teleport away. Currently, him arriving in the Inhuman Royal Palace and going to stand. And guards, they immediately begin to surround Izuku. Him with his hands up and expressing a few things about how he is here to talk to the council. And people, they stare at Iron Man. And Deku, he is informed that the council are currently talking and doing quite a bit of other things. And this has been quite a bit. Black Bolt, his cousin-in-law. Yeah. He's never met the man, but he's heard enough stories, enough rumors, a voice to shatter continents, and strength only rivaled by the Hulk. A man truly worthy of being king. It does mean quite a bit. And after Deku is allowed to walk into the same room as these people, they all do just don't stand there. Currently, Medusa sitting there, as there also is Black Bolt. And it does mean quite a bit. And Deku, while he does sit here, Crystal was informed by her sister, via a message, that Izuku is sitting face to face with the remaining council members. And all of them go over the information. They've already talked to Veritas, and she has confirmed everything Medusa has said. She has confirmed mental tampering and brainwashing was into play. And currently Deku's to turn his head, her staying there, as they do to ask Izuku to step out of his suit and allow for proper authentication of vocal patterns. And Izuku, he would have stepped forwards. Currently out of the Mark 11 and standing there. And Veritas is to stare at Deku, her beginning to ask him questions. And Deku answers all of them truthfully. But he does make it apparent. Attilan needs the guardsmen. Attilan needs those sentries. They are defenseless without them. It doesn't matter if they have a shield. It doesn't matter because they don't have a sword. They need something there. And Veritas, she can see what Deku's doing. The council members were already going to find him as innocent, but find a way to punish him. But this is Deku's ace in the sleeve, or however the human saying does go. She doesn't really play that game, or whatever humans call it. Now, Izuku, he is told a few other things. The Inhuman Council are aware as to the destruction those robots caused, the devastation they rained on a population of superpowered individuals. Though, it does show that Izuku has built the most dangerous thing in Inhuman history. And Deku, he doesn't mention his armor. However, they do express about how they would like Izuku to rebuild the guardsmen, and, going forwards, he will do just that. That will be his punishment. Along with that, he will hand over information as to no. I'm going to stare down at Deku, and there currently is Crystal, who we're going to walk into the chamber. As Deku talks about it, the guardsmen, their blueprints are dangerous. He is the only one who has access to their information. He is the only one who can build them the way they are built. It takes over 3,000 hours to build a guardsman. He wants them to be aware of that. It took months of planning and schematics. An actual execution is about 1,500 hours, especially whenever they know what they're doing. But if he does hand it over to them, he doesn't believe that Attilan, their craftsman, could master the craft. They may cut corners or make adjustments. Any minor adjustment to the blueprints he does have is unwarranted and not needed. These things are the perfect protector. These things are the perfect guardians for a reason. They are meant to adapt and incorporate enemy technology to better adjust to a threat. Let's put it this way. If you throw meat at the grinder, do you expect any difference? You expect overwhelming numbers to eventually break or clog it. But that grinder, what if it could adapt and change? It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The guardsmen already intercepted Kree technology, and that means they are adept at fighting the Kree. And Deku, the moment he points that out, the council can understand. Izuku is a very gifted and intelligent human, and even Maximus the Mad has expressed his own thoughts on Izuku's intelligence. He believes that Izuku's intelligence has grown more ever since he became more adept in human technology, and he was simply ahead of his time on Earth. It's simple. Deku's abilities rival his own, and that it does not concern them. If Izuku is a sane version of Maximus, somebody of similar if not higher intellect, and he is capable of building machines to kill, things to do certain things, it does mean quite a lot. And Deku, he is told that he will hand over the blueprints or he will face, well, proper authority. And Deku expresses to them he is willing to rebuild the guardsmen. That is all. If he does do any more than that, he is not like what they will do. He's already seen what those machines can do when turned against people. They are not meant to fight people Izuku doesn't want them to. He is willing to give them more access to them, however. More control of them. Access to a kill switch. Access to controls and settings to them. That is all. However, the parameters, he will set those. Their territory is Earth, along with the moon. And this, it does somewhat surprise them. Deku, he's not willing to hand over the blueprints, though he is willing to hand over the controller. And this, it certainly is something. They will have to reverse engineer this technology, and that should be simple enough. And they do begin to at least agree to Izuku's terms, though they do make it quite aware. Izuku Midoriya is still held with, resentment. Then again, his actions were not his own, so there is no real case to perpetuate against him. Now, Izuku, he is able to leave, and currently he would return, stepping back into his armor. And Crystal does come running over, her with a lot currently going through her head, and worried about Izuku. And Deku, he would turn, grabbing onto Crystal and expressing to her about how there's a lot going on, though he's got to head back to his lab. Figure a lot of things out. Your lab? I haven't seen you in... Izuku. I know. We need to talk. It's important. But let me just head there really quickly. Get a few things. Get my thoughts sorted. Okay? Fine. I'll be at home with our daughter. I know. Deku having the place open up. Him going to pull Crystal a hug and tell her that he's sorry about that. Everything with Ultron, he didn't mean for it to happen. He didn't mean to be under his control. And this, it does make her heart somewhat waver a bit. She wants to be angry at Izuku, but it's hard to be. She can't be. He's still a victim in all of this. And Deku, he has to teleport away. Currently, him heading back to his lab and getting a few things sorted out, along with pulling up information on the guardsmen. Now, this does mean quite a bit, and currently the Earth's heroes, they themselves, had a lot of plans currently going into place. They need to prepare for Thanos, and the Earth being in chaos right now means quite a bit. Though Captain Marvel did have an idea. Tony Stark wanted to build a suit of armor around the world. But what about a shield around the world? It's simple. They build something to shield the entire planet from an alien invasion. And this idea, it is kind of good. It's not theoretical, because it's possible. Now, the heroes do begin to get to work on that. And currently Deku, he does start to get to work on putting together things for the guardsmen. At least getting them all set up. And there actually is back at home. Crystal puts down Jasmine for a nap. And Izuku, he currently does a teleport into his apartment and sit there for a minute. Climbing out of his armor and going to stretch. Him walking to the kitchen and going to open up the fridge. Him going to grab a drink out of it and then going to knock it back. Crystal walking to the room and seeing Izuku. Him currently pouring a glass for her and then going to pour one for him. Him going to bring it up to his lips and drink it quickly. Her asking him if he's okay. Him going to actually put the glass down a bit hard. No, my nerves have been getting to me, Crystal. I'm sorry. I can't do this right now. I can't be here right now. I'm afraid I'm going to snap. Izuku, are you okay? Deku bringing his right hand down. Him going onto the glass and going to simply just crush it in his hand. And Crystal's to stare at that. Her going to step forwards, alarmed because Izuku might be bleeding. But Deku, he doesn't open his hand, dropping the shards and holding it up to her, expressing to her, Ultron did more than just mess with his body. He altered him with extremis. And it makes him powerful. He's stronger. He's, well, a superior version of himself. So what does that have to do with anything? Crystal, You know how you said I'm not a very emotional or reactionary person? I've said that before. Ultron got in my head and did things. I'm aware of a lot of those things, but I don't know. I was more aware for whenever he was trying to get information. The guardsmen, my armor designs, my plans. I was like an open book to him. He wanted to kill you and Jasmine. Every time I was there, he made me aware in the forefront of my mind when he built the armor. Whenever he was with Sasha, Lorna, and Storm, and Wanda. So you did? Yes, Crystal. Ultron, he messed with my body. He. I'm sorry. I might. Crystal, Ultron slept around. I haven't told you about that part. I told you he did a lot, but I didn't tell you the whole story. I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, 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 no. Hang on a minute. You're not suggesting. Yeah, he might have fathered children, Crystal. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. You're angry. Of course I'm angry. No, that's not what I. Deku bring his hand up, and currently going to pull the ring off of his finger. I'm going to turn and sit it down, and Crystal could watch on. Her eyes a bit teary, though her expression also of anger. And Deku going to walk over, bring his hands up, and going to try and pull her into a hug. And Crystal, she does get angry. Her bring her hand out and pushing against Izuku. And Deku would tell her, listen, he's gonna sort his thoughts out. Take take some time, and you're just gonna leave? Yes. That's all. So what? The last couple years haven't happened? The last the Jasmine never happened. That's not what I meant. No, no. So you need to get your thoughts and you need to figure things out. But you can't do that here? You can't figure that out here? Crystal, if I stay here, I'm afraid I'm gonna hurt you. I don't know if Ultron is still kicking around in my skull or not. I don't know what's going on in there. All I know is I had a stone in my head and got it removed. I'm pretty sure I forced Ultron out, and I don't know, okay? Listen, I do still care. I still love you, but some of my thoughts don't feel like my own. Some of my actions feel like mine, but I know they weren't. I influenced Ultron. I don't know how far I influenced him. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I just want to figure this out. I wanted to wait until after Thanos, but clearly I can't do that. Alright? I'm already near my breaking point. So, will I still have rationality? I'm gonna leave. Okay? Listen, maybe we can work this out. But until I know the extent of the damage, I don't know. Okay? I just leave before I say something stupid. Deku bring his hand up. And Reza bring his hand up to Crystal. She would just smack it away. And Deku, he does understand. This choice isn't easy, but it's one he's making. And currently Deku's armor, it will going to materialize onto his body. Him bringing his hand down and going to look down before going to teleport away. And currently Deku, he does going to arrive on an asteroid, somewhere out far in space. The place he built the guardsmen, the place he had them stationed. And Deku, he immediately going to turn, bringing his hands up and letting loose his rage. Currently him blasting away multiple asteroids in the distance. And currently Deku, he'll go to drop to his knees. Right now him screaming out in his suit. Now, there currently is Crystal. Crystal, she loves Izuku. But this confession, this information, I mean, it hurts. And she's so going to fall onto her knees. Her beginning to cry, as Jasmine doesn't want to cry out. And Crystal does sit there for a second, in a bit of a heap, trying to gather her own thoughts. She can understand what Izuku's going through. Understand that someone messed with his mind, understand that he's not acting rational. She can understand everything. But running away from his problems? Ultron messed with family. But now that he's gone, that that anger doesn't seem warranted. But Izuku is trying to protect everybody around him from himself. She can't come to terms with that. And honestly, the fact that she knows why, it's a good reason, but trying to come to terms with that reason is harder. And there currently is Izuku, who after he is a rage through and destroy multiple asteroids, he has them smashing down. Currently, him looking at his armor and knowing a few things. Rebuilding the guardsmen will take time. And Earth, it's going to be left without one hero until then. Though Izuku, he has a radio back in. And currently, there actually is the Earth's heroes, who they do get to receive Izuku's transmission. And Deku, the transmission is short and sweet, along with the fact that he does at least try and tell them what's happening. And right now, Deku, he does sit there, pissed off, and angry at himself. Now, he has to walk into a massive workshop. Him looking up and staring around. This place is several stories tall and capable of building a guardsman in some short period of time. However, adjustments and alterations, along with, well, gathering the resources, all of that will be annoying. Though, now he's alone. He's truly alone. maybe maybe he can make things work with Crystal. But just gathering his thoughts and figuring all this out there, that's what he's gonna do. Though he does still want to be a part of Jasmine's life. Even if him and Crystal can't be together anymore, they are still paired. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night, or day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.